Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
And you'll get arthritis, skin cancer, probably one of the common chronic diseases like CHF, COPD, diabetes. At All County Healthcare, we teach you how to manage your disease. We make sure you know how to take your medications and how to recognize signs and symptoms before requiring hospitalization, no matter how many visits it takes. You didn't move to Florida to be sick. You moved here to enjoy the rest of your life. And that's exactly what our team of nurses, therapists, and aides at All County Healthcare help you do.
The following programming is furnished by you and your doctor.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guests alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Amp2.tv presents You and Your Doctor, teaching you to live a longer and healthier life. Proudly sponsored by All County Healthcare, where people are the heart of our business. All County Healthcare is a Medicare certified agency where one call will service all your home care health needs. For more information, call 954-717-7027 or visit our website, allcountyhealthcare.com. Now, let's get informed to living a longer and healthier life. Here is your host for today's show.
Back to another episode of You and Your Doctor, sponsored by All County Healthcare. We can be reached at 954-717-7027. We're a Medicare certified home healthcare agency located in Palm Beach County, Broward, and Miami-Dade. I'm your host, Louise Gomez, and welcome to the show. Tonight we have Stacy Williams, APRN. She is with Williams Medical Group at 1874 West Hillsborough Boulevard, Suite F as in Frank, Deerfield Beach, Florida, 33442. Can be reached at 954-998-1720. Also, check out our website, williamsmedicalgroup.com. And welcome to the show. How are you today?
Hi, I'm well. How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm well. Thank you for asking. And thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule, because I was looking at your schedule and I know you're very busy. So we appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to come on to the show and to share with us. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
And so is that a new location where you're at?
This is a new location. This is a new location.
Nice.
The prior location was in Coral Springs, but this is a better location, easier to find, and it's centered more around the geriatric population, but very busy area.
Wonderful, wonderful. And so, Ms. Williams, can you share a little bit with our listeners and viewers about a little bit more about your experience, your background and training? Please share with us.
Sure. So I'm Stacy Williams. I'm a family nurse practitioner, and I have been in the medical field for over 20 years. I've worked with home health agencies. I've worked in the hospitals and facilities, seen patients in their homes, and provide concierge services. And at this point, now that I'm a nurse practitioner, I've continued to do that. Where I do see patients in their homes, facilities, skilled nursing facilities, and at home as well. I'm very fluent with medical care and needs for all my patients. At least I try to be. Every day it's something different because we're dealing with human beings, new diseases, and I have to increase my knowledge base on a daily basis. It gets kind of crazy sometimes, but you know what? It keeps it exciting, and I'm able to help my patients.
And it keeps you relevant because someone like you sound like you're interested in learning what is it that's new, and so people want that. People want practitioners that are relevant and wanting to take their time to do that. So we appreciate that. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
And so, Ms. Williams, could you tell me more or less what is the age range of patients that you treat?
From teenagers all the way to geriatrics. So we're family, so pretty much open. I don't do a lot of babies.
Okay.
I leave those to the pediatricians, but I mean, we can see patients above 10 years old all the way to geriatrics.
Nice. And so is there a specialty that you prefer to deal with, or what, like, have you had a lot of COVID patients, or what are you specializing in, or what are you seeing more of nowadays?
So we see everything.
Okay.
We get a taste of everything, and I don't specialize. It's family, and I don't want to specialize.
Okay.
I like the fact that I can see a multitude of patients with different diseases, different illnesses. I learn from them, and that helps me to care for more people. If I specialize, I can only appeal to one demographic. And I don't want to do that. I want to see if I can help as many people as I can, but also do that effectively.
I like that. Keeps you well-rounded. It keeps you well-rounded by seeing different types of patients. Now,
Yes.
do you have, what type of insurances do you take? Major insurances, is that right?
So we take Medicare right now and private pay, but
Okay.
we are in the process of becoming affiliated with other insurance companies. So I'm getting credentialed right now. It just takes a little longer, but hopefully within the next 2 to 3 months, everything will be processed where I can see a lot of commercial insurances as well.
Okay, wonderful. And
Thank you.
yeah, a couple of quick questions I had for you. As far as lifestyle, do you talk to your patients about maybe lifestyle choices, or exercise or diet? Can you talk to us a little bit more about that?
Sure. So every person should be educated. Even us medical professionals need to be educated
Yes.
on taking care of themselves. So we are the worst, right? So we tell everyone how they should be on a diet or exercise, and then we go home and we're so exhausted, we
Right.
don't do any of those things, right? But I do educate all my patients on every visit as much as I can, because I want them to understand the importance of their disease process and how to take care of themselves to prevent further damage to their system. So I do talk about exercise a lot, and it doesn't just work for one body system, it actually works for your entire body. I like to tell everyone to not buy a gym membership. That's like the biggest thing, especially now that it's January, New
Right.
Year's resolution. Everyone's like, okay, it's time to get a gym membership, and I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Okay, so by the time you get home from work, you change your clothes, try to get to the gym, it's like an hour and a half later, and then by the time you get there, you're like, I'm so exhausted, or the gym is packed, and then you're like, I can't get to exercise. So you say, you know what, I'm going to go back tomorrow. So
Yes.
you wasted a whole day, and you wasted all that time, when really all you need to do is simply walk 30 minutes a day, 4 to 5 times a week, even 7 times a week if you want. And when you do that, that alone can help you lose weight. It can help your heart. It can help cholesterol levels, your blood sugar levels. It helps your blood pressure levels. So just simple walking, 30 minutes a day is sufficient. Now, I'm not saying not to go to the gym, but
Sure.
don't make that be your first choice. And then you're going to miss out on the simple things that you can do to help yourself.
Agreed. I
So
mean,
that's, one thing.
yes.
Go ahead.
Agreed. We live in sunny South Florida. What better place? I know I make it a point I do it more for my mental sanity, like to de-stress. And I just go for like
Exactly.
45 minutes after I work from home. So I'm literally sitting down all day. As soon as I'm done, I just go out and walk for about 45 minutes, and it's just being in the outdoors.
It's the, what people don't really understand or they think about is we have serotonin and melatonin in our bodies, right?
Yes.
Serotonin is it's your happy chemicals in your system, and that's what keeps you up and vibrant and wanting to do things. Your melatonin kicks in at nighttime when it's time to go to bed. It helps you to relax and you're supposed to get that sleep. If you just go out in the sun and you get a little bit of sunlight, that helps the serotonin in your body. That helps with depression.
Yes.
That helps with anxiety. It helps with you just feeling a little bit down about maybe if you're overweight and you're like, I'm tired of exercising, I'm tired of doing this. Get some more serotonin in your system. And little by little, you will feel better about yourself as you continue to go out there. But, people are like, oh, I don't want to go in the sun. You don't have to be in the sun all day. Give it 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and then you're done, and do it the next day. It works.
Agreed. Back to basics, right? I remember when we were kids, my mother, parents would be like, just go outside. Right. You're not feeling well, just go sit in the back, or, just fresh air. Like the things that sometimes maybe I take for granted or people take for granted is just that fresh air and exercise. And you mentioned something about sleep.
Exactly.
Can you give us some daily tips for maybe a good night's rest, and what do you consider a good night's rest, and any tips that we can get some good hacks or tips from you?
Sure. So sleep is important to our body system, period. Your body has to reset. Mm-hmm. So you're going all day and you're doing a million things. Your brain can only handle so much. So once you get home, you need to kind of mellow down. You need to wind down and try to just let go of the day. So there are a few things you can do. Usually, normally, like for me, when I get home, it's to take a shower because I have to wash off the day.
Yes.
Being around patients and everything. Uh-huh. So I have to wash off my whole day, and then make sure the kids eat. If you need to help with homework, do those things. And then for yourself as the adult, you want to make sure that you're not on your phone at least an hour before you go to bed. Turn the TV off before you go to bed. You want to take that hour to wind down. You can have a glass of wine, okay? Check with your doctors. I'm not telling everyone to drink, so check with your physician. But you can wind down, and that alone will help you fall asleep and get a good night's sleep. What happens is everybody's so stuck on their phones, trying to work, trying to do this, trying to do that, and that blue light in the phone makes your brain thinks it's not time to go to bed, so you're going to just stay awake, and your brain is going to stay awake. And what's going to happen is your whole body system, your organs, everything, your brain especially, is not going to reset for the next day, so it can start brand new. So that's one, a couple of things you can do. Exercising in the evening when you get home, that's a good thing you can do as well. Making sure that you're hydrating throughout the day. You can do breathing exercises. That's another thing when you're laying in your bed and you can't fall asleep. Mm-hmm. You do breathe through your nose, out through your mouth slowly, and you do that a few times. Relax your heart, your mind, everything, and you can fall asleep a little bit better. 6 hours of sleep is sufficient for an adult. Mm-hmm. Children, they need about 8 hours of sleep. But if you are, you have to come up with a regimen for yourself to know when you want to go to bed, when you can start winding down to go to bed, and then go from there. I don't believe in taking too many drugs to go to sleep, but I think trying the natural way and coming up with a regimen is the best thing to do.
Agreed. I've noticed myself, if I'm on my phone late at night and I'm on social media or reading something and I put the phone down, exactly what you're saying. I notice that I'm just not ready for sleep yet. So
exactly.
It's very helpful for people to realize that, for sure.
And then think about the things you're looking on in social media, right? So everything is out there now, right? It's not all positive. It's not all, we're all one, we love each other, right? There's a lot of negative things out there. So when you're winding down and you're looking at your phone and you're reading something about the war, or you're reading about shootings, or you're reading about something negative, what's going to be in your head before you go to bed? That's
So
what you're
true.
gonna, that's what's then gonna get your brain going. And now you're not relaxed anymore. You may think you are because you're sleepy, but
Right.
that's why you end up waking up throughout the night. Your brain is thinking about it, it's in your subconscious. So you want to do something positive. Get a book, read a positive book, read something that is going to settle your mind and make you feel positive and make your mind relax. And then that will help you sleep a little bit better.
Wow, wonderful. Is there maybe an ideal time? Sometimes I've heard people saying there's an ideal time to fall asleep, or what do you, is there anything that you would recommend, or everybody's just different?
Every schedule is different. So, for example, I have two daughters. My youngest one, I try to make sure she goes to bed at 8:30. That I have control over, right?
Right.
But and in honesty, we have control over a lot of things. But for you have people who, nurses, doctors, firefighters, police officers, work overnight. So
Mm-hmm.
their sleep cycle is a whole lot different
True.
from the other people's sleep cycle who work 9 to 5. And
True.
then you have individuals who work 9 to 5 and then they have school in the evening or they have a second job. So what's gonna work for someone is you're gonna have to look at your daily routine and
Mm-hmm.
then come up with a plan as to how when you're going to sleep. You have to plan it because if you work overnight 7 to 7, you get off at 8 o'clock in the morning. You're supposed to be awake right now, right? So your
Right.
body's thrown off. So now you're going to have to train your body to say, this is my nighttime. And when I get up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening, that's my daytime. So it's just
Right.
going to be different for everyone. But if there's the average person who works 9 to 5 and you can get home and go to bed, 6 hours of sleep. So you've got to determine what time you need to get up in the morning so you're not rushing. You can have a good breakfast. You can plan drive time, especially with traffic,
Yeah.
and you kind of work those hours out.
Wonderful. Another question, another topic that's especially important for females, I guess everybody, but heart health. What can you speak into about heart health as far as prevention and good ideas for us to maintain a healthy heart?
So the first thing is to find out if you have a family history of heart disease.
Okay.
That's like the biggest thing. Many people don't know their family history. And when I'm assessing my patients and I ask them, do you have a family history of A, B, C, or D?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, I don't know, I have no clue. That's not good. You need to know your family history because you don't have to be overweight. You don't have to be underweight. You don't have to be smoking, have diabetes, or have any kind of other medical issues to have heart disease. So many people look at others and they're like, oh, this person's overweight, so they're going to have heart problems. No, not necessarily true. Their heart can be very healthy. So what you have to do, number one, is to know your family history. Number two, you need to live a healthy lifestyle. So we've got to think about the kind of foods that we're eating, right? We've got to think about fats that we're consuming in our bodies and the difference between the fats. So we have in our bodies, we have saturated fats and unsaturated fats. And some of the saturated fats that you want to discourage others from eating are like meat pies, sausage, fatty cut meats with a lot of fat on there, butter, spread. Spread is not even butter, spread is synthetic.
Mm-hmm.
So your body cannot metabolize the synthetic factor of that, right? So it's going to possibly take a longer time for it to get out of your body. And then these are what gets clogged in your arteries. Butter gets clogged in your arteries, even though butter is natural, but still you have to eat it in moderation. There's also lard, cream, the cheeses, different kinds of cheese, the cakes, the biscuits, and any food that contain like the coconut oil or the palm oil. So, but there are unsaturated fats that are good for you. And those are the ones that you should consume, which are like the oily fish. So
Mm-hmm.
you're looking like the fish oil and those kind of things, the salmon, avocados, nuts and seeds, sunflowers, olive, vegetable oils. Those are better for you. So, and then you want to learn about the sugars because obviously the carbs turn into sugars. So any whites. So you don't want to have your white bread, your white rice, like the crackers, things like that. You want to, if you want to have it in moderation. Have it maybe once or twice a week. The browns are better. The wheats are better. Adding fiber to your diet is better. Adding the roughage to your diet is better. So you want to make sure that your system is working for you. You're not getting these simple sugars that's getting into your body and sitting there. And the other thing is with these simple sugars, we have candida in our bodies naturally. And what happens is the candida ferments with the simple sugars, and this is what causes a lot of bloating in individuals. This is what causes that uneasy feeling in your stomach. Every time you eat, your stomach is puffed out to here. There's a lot of things that the candida grows on. So you're going to have to minimize the white carbs that you're eating to lessen the amount of candida, exercise, and then just eat everything in moderation. The heart is very important. It's so important because obviously our heart is our circulatory system. It's the main part of it. So if we can't get our heart to function properly to pump the oxygenated blood into our system so we can continue to circulate, then we're going to have a huge problem. The brain can't survive. Nothing else can survive if it doesn't have oxygen. So you want to be mindful of those things. Once your heart is damaged and your blood vessels are damaged, you're going to end up having possibly diabetes and other issues because now that the oxygenation is not flowing where it needs to go, you're going to have a lot of problems. Being more physically active, like we talked about, regular exercise is good. Walking 30 minutes a day, 4 to 5 times a week is very good for the heart. It helps the heart muscle to pump. Breathing exercises, make sure that you do that as well, because if you're not doing these things, it doesn't help to control the heart, how it's pumping. So if your heart is going into a fast pace and you're not trying to slow that down and have it pump effectively, then that can also cause issues for you. If you're not hydrating, that can cause issues for your heart. Okay. Mm-hmm. So walking, swimming, dancing, any of these things, it helps with your heart. Keeping a healthy weight is also important. So no one needs to go and throw up after they eat. No one needs to, say, well, I'm told that I have to get my weight down and things like that. No, maintaining a healthy weight. And a healthy weight is you should see your physician and see what your BMI should be. This is a calculation of your height and also your weight. And this will tell you a range of where your weight should be that is normal for your stature. And this can help you guide you as to what kind of diets you should be on. If you're a smoker, stop smoking. It leads to atherosclerosis. And what happens is it clogs the arteries and you lead to heart disease. You can have heart attacks. Alcohol, even though alcohol, we have drinks, having a glass of wine at night is not horrible. Having social drinking, going out a weekend here and there with your friends and enjoying time, that's fine. But if you're a hard drinker, drinking like more than 10 beers and these hard liquors every day or several times a week, that's going to be hard on your heart as well. And that actually adds to diabetes as well.
Yeah, it's all about lifestyle. I mean, everything I'm hearing you say is these are all things that can be prevented in lifestyle, just making those changes. And so, like they say, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, right? I had a doctor last week and he said that, and it's just another reminder of we have control over a lot of our, lifestyle. Real quick, I do have a question. You have telehealth medicine, is that correct?
I do, yes.
Wonderful. Okay.
Yes,
so I'm just going to repeat all your contact information before we close out because it's real important. I want to make sure everybody can access you. So get a pen, paper, write down. The address is she is at Williams Medical Group, 1874 West Hillsborough Boulevard, Suite F as in Frank, Deerfield Beach, Florida, 33442. Phone number is 954-998-1720. And also has telehealth medicine. So get in touch, find out how you can access Ms. Stacey Williams. I want to thank you so much for coming on to the show, sharing your expertise and your knowledge. and it's always a breath of fresh air just to hear it from somebody. Just things that we may take for granted: fresh air, water, exercise.
Yes.
Yes.
And just one more thing. It's
Please.
something that really, bothers me a lot. It's the medications that patients are on. I have, especially my geriatric patients, they're taking so many medications
Yeah.
and the doctors are throwing it at them, different physicians, and they have no idea what they're on. So I would tell them, and for the children of the geriatric patients who are listening, look at your parents' medications and go through them and see, look them up online. You can go onto Cleveland
Sure.
Clinic, you can go onto Google, and you can see what these medications are for and see if they're getting like duplicated treatments, and this can harm them. This can, bottom them out at night with their blood pressures, their diabetes, things like that. So look at your parents' medications, patients, look at your medications, get involved,
Thank you.
understand what's being done, and ask questions. Because if you don't ask, no one's going to tell you, and you will never know, and you'll end up harming yourself.
Thank you so much. With that, we got to wrap it up. Great advice. Thank you for ending with that. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being such an advocate for everyone's health. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Take care.